Okay, we're rolling.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. We're going to be doing a comparison. Two podcast hosting sites going against each other for your attention and your consideration as a new podcaster, or maybe you want to move. You're like, I need to get out of here and I'm looking for something better. Well, I've got two great alternatives for you to consider. We're going to put them up against each other and share some of the things they do well, the things they do similar in a similar way, or things they do differently, and maybe some things that you might just need to be aware of before you make a decision. We're going to take Captivate.fm and pit them against their bitter rival, Transistor.fm. They both have .fms, so let's see which .fm wins here on the How to Podcast series. And we're going to talk about hosting sites. We don't do this very often on the show, and I'm thinking it's about time because people are asking, Dave, where should I get my podcast? Where should I set it up? It's a lot of alternatives out there. Some are amazing. Some I would avoid. These two places, Captivate and Transistor, these are worth your attention, and I would really encourage you to stick around and pick the one that works for you out of these two. And if you have any questions, reach out to me anytime. Love to help you. But Captivate versus Transistor on the How to Podcast series. Are you ready? All right. Let's only punches above the belt, everyone. Here we go. So we have our groups. They're in each corner, ready to come out onto the mat here and meet at the center. And we're going to go toe to toe here and talk about these two podcast hosting sites. Now, I do recognize that there are people listening to the show who are just starting. Now, you don't even know what a hosting site is. I thought I was the host. A podcast host would be the person talking on the mic, like you're doing right now, Dave. Yes, technically, I am the host of the How to Podcast series. But my show, the English language is so much fun. My show is hosted on a hosting site for the show that I host, called the How to Podcast series. So that's fun. And when people come to any English-speaking country and learn English, I'm sorry. We have the same word that means multiple things too, anyways. So yes, a podcast host is the person who talks on the mic, interviews guests, does solo episodes. Yes, got it. There's also the hosting site who hosts, who has your episodes for distribution to all the different players through what we call an RSS feed, which simply means really simple syndication. The beautiful thing about having a hosting site deliver your podcast to all these different players around the world is that you upload it once, it goes out to the world, and then it comes back to you on a dashboard, which gives you kind of a overview. Think of your instrument panel on your car. Tells you when you're out of gas and how fast you're going, and trouble lights, which pop up for no reason. It tells you when your seatbelt's not plugged in, right? All that. Your door's ajar. Apparently your door is now ajar. So it tells you that. Your dashboard for your podcast does the same thing through your hosting site. Gives you some general overview of how your podcast is doing on all of the different players. Again, one upload to many places reporting back to you on one dashboard. That's the beauty of this. And you own it through your hosting site. You own your RSS feed. It's yours. There's only one. And it's your show. So own it and own your podcast and own the process and own your content and all that great stuff. It's very important. So your hosting sites. You need to decide that when you first create your podcast. Who is going to host my podcast? Not the person on the mic, the person that's going to hold all your episodes. There are so many different people and places you can go to. And there's a lot of opinions about who is the best. And the opinions are those of the people who share them. And you can pick and choose. Don't be overwhelmed. The biggest thing you need to know is, what do I want as a podcaster? And how much can I afford? That's another key part of all this. There is, at this point, one major free player on free podcast hosting, I have this show, the How to Podcast series, on that platform. It's where I started this show back in the very beginning. I leave it there because I want to know how to navigate this hosting site so I can answer questions, troubleshoot, set people up if this is their chosen hosting site, Spotify for Creators. Happy to help people set it up. If money is the one thing that keeps you from podcasting, then you can go with a free hosting site like what I'm using. I like a paid hosting site as a more seasoned podcaster. Been in this for a while. I like a hosting site that I pay for. It's my preference, I think, over the two, free and paid. I like paid. But it comes down to money. And if money is the one thing keeping you from podcasting, then please start with a free host. We want your podcast out there. But when your audience falls in love with you and when things get better financially, maybe it's time to move. And that's why Captivate and Transistor are two amazing platforms for you to consider, because they offer some great things that can really help your podcast. And they have great teams, great people who really care about podcasting, who this is the main thing they do. So they do it well. So I'd encourage you to check out Captivate and or Transistor and use this episode as kind of a guide for you. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to me anytime. Love to help you. Okay, so enough dancing around the ring. It's time to get going here. Okay, so on this episode, we're going to be looking at helping you choose between Captivate as the more growth and marketing focused platform in comparison to Transistor as one of the streamlined network and analytics focused options. So let's do some overall positioning between the two. First, Captivate. Captivate is designed for growth focused creators and networks with a big emphasis on marketing tools, audience growth, collaboration, with unlimited team members, advanced promotion features, and some built-in guest booking. Captivate's got some great things to bring you in as a new user. Transistor is built upon simplicity, reliability, and excellent analytics with strong support for hosting multiple shows and private feeds, especially attractive for brands or creators running networks or internal podcasts. Captivate also allows for multiple shows under one plan, and I'm with Captivate on 4 or 5 of my shows are hosted over there. One payment with multiple podcasts under one, where places like Buzzsprout require you to pay individually for each podcast separately, and that can get really expensive over time. So if you have more than one show that you host yourself, then I would suggest Captivate and Transistor for that reason right there. You're not paying every podcast you do separately, paying for hosting for each of them. One payment, multiple shows. That's what sets them apart from Buzzsprout. Keep that in mind. Some core feature comparisons between the two to consider for both Captivate and Transistor. So both of these hosts, they both offer the expected basics. Unlimited episodes, which is great. Unlimited episodes. Say that again, one more time. Unlimited episodes. Support for multiple shows. RSS distribution to all the major directories. Embeddable players, allowing you to put your podcast onto a website. They have a podcast website for you as well, included in the plan. And advanced analytics. Where Captivate stands out between the two is all the features are included on every paid plan. Private podcasts, advanced analytics, marketing tools, unlimited team members are available from day one, not locked behind higher tiers. Strong growth and marketing toolkit. We have here, Captivate stands out with single page subscription and promo links, custom trackable short links, playlists, email marketing integrations, and advanced website player customization. Dynamic ad and content tools for campaigns, monetization, plus a one-click PDF sponsor kit designed to help with your ad sales, if that's where you're going with your podcast. Also, collaboration and workflow, unlimited team members with granular permission levels on all plans. Great if you have producers, editors, or a whole team working across multiple shows. Episode workflow tools like idea planning, show note builder, integrations with tools like Descript and Zapier to streamline production, and networks. Purpose-driven, purpose-built tools for running a podcast network, including network websites and network-level analytics. That's all for Captivate. Where does Transistor stand out? That's the next part. With Transistor, you get very clean, intuitive interface that many users praise as one of the easiest and frequent publishing and for day-to-day use, especially if you manage several shows. Strong for multi-show setups and brands, unlimited podcasts on one account, with network analytics and support for podcast networks, good integration, for example, recording and editing tools like Riverside that slot into existing workflows, private podcasting, well-developed private feed features aimed at internal company podcasts, membership shows, or client work with support for many private subscribers on higher plans, and the philosophy, too. Transistor keeps the product fairly focused and simple by design, with fewer extras, which some creators prefer when they do not need heavy marketing tooling. So Transistor goes in a little bit different direction than Captivate in that way. What about pricing structures? Now, I can quote you prices here, but that's relative to when I record and when you listen. So it's fluid. And in podcasting, I've noticed that some of the podcast hosting sites are beginning to raise their rates at the end of 25, beginning of 2026. So to give you concrete numbers that are going to be the same when you listen to this in the future is going to be hard to do. But the pricing structure is built around this. Both price around monthly download limits and allow multiple shows under one plan. So you are essentially paying based on overall audience size rather than the number of podcasts. They do have entry-level plans for both that start around the same price monthly and similar download allowances within those plans. And both offer annual discounts and do not instantly cut off your show if you spike above your limit that's been set. They talk to you about upgrading if it becomes consistent over time. So that's the pricing structure in general terms. Key differences that we need to focus on. Captivate positions itself and its value on everything included at every tier. Unlimited team members, private feeds, marketing tools, sponsor kit, so smaller or newer shows can access advanced features without upgrading. Transistor may come in with a similar starting price, but reserve some features like more advanced private podcasting or larger teams for higher tiers, reflecting its focus on scaling brands and networks. So keep that in mind. Which platform is for which podcaster? Here we go. So my thoughts here. Choose Captivate if you are growth obsessed, you want built-in marketing tools, promo links, sponsor kits, detailed control over your website and players. If you work with a team or plan to, then think about Captivate. And you want unlimited collaborators without paying more, Captivate might be your choice. You run a plan or you plan to run and build a podcast network, value their network specific tools and analytics. That might be your choice for Captivate. Choose Transistor if you want a clean, simple interface that is rock solid, multi-show hosting, and strong analytics. You are a brand, an agency, a creator hosting multiple or private shows internal company podcasts, and client feeds and memberships. And also go look at Transistor if you prefer a leaner feature set that integrates with external tools rather than the all-in-one marketing suite. Now, if this matters to you, Captivate is based in the UK at the time of recording, and I hope for a long time into the future. One of their great team members lives in Canada. His name is Danny Brown, and I think he's awesome. So I like that just because I love Danny. He's such a great guy. Transistor, I'm a Canadian. Transistor is also, it's based in Canada. And so Justin Jackson and his team, a lot of Canadian people, they have some other people outside of Canada as well on their team. But if you're looking for a Canadian-based place for your podcast, then go look at Transistor because it's Canadian. So there's that too. So if I was a solo creator trying to grow one main podcast, Captivate has the edge. That would be my first thought. Versus an agency or a company managing a network plus internal podcasts, Transistor might be more of a natural fit for you. So it all depends on what your plans are with your show. And I would tell you, think about the long-term goal of your show, not just the short-term wins. Because you want to go with a hosting site that you think you can grow into. So keep that in mind. You can always move from one hosting site to another, but to move just because you're bored is not a good reason to move to a new hosting site. Moving to a new hosting site won't get you more listeners. It might have different tools. It might have different things about it that you enjoy. But really, the one thing that's going to grow your podcast is not your hosting site. It's your content. And it's your connection with your audience. And it's you showing up on a regular basis, creating great podcasts that bring people into your world. A hosting site is there just to amplify what you're doing, not to replace or take all of the heavy lifting off of your shoulders. They're there to support you. They're not there to be you. So keep that in mind as you create your show. The biggest, most important person in this process is you. You got to create great content. And Captivate and Transistor are there with their amazing teams to make you better and to help you to reach more people over time. But the biggest part of all this is you. So keep it in mind. If you have any questions about these two, Captivate and Transistor, I'd love to help you. Reach out anytime. If you have questions about other platforms, let me know. I'd love to help you over at howtopodcast.ca. So is there a clear winner? I almost call this one a tie. Just as a general overview, these two companies are great, and either one will be an awesome choice for you. And just take a look at their pricing, see what works for you. And again, if you have any questions, reach out. Love to help you. Take care. So I get asked quite often, usually at the end of a podcast, like right now, Dave, how can we help you? Like, how can we, as a listener, support the show? Can we come rake your leaves? Can we cut the grass? Shovel the snow? Watch your dog? Help you move? What can we do? Clean your dishes? Oh, that'd be interesting. Well, if you can't do that because, you're in Poland, maybe you can help us by supporting us with our Buy Me a Coffee. It's right there on our website. And, it just will help us to stay fueled because, we drink a lot of coffee around here, and it helps the show. So if you want to help us, it's out of the goodness of your heart. I can tell you that listening to the podcast to this point, you've already helped us so much. But I do have people saying, Dave, I'd love to give back something small, even just to the show. Buy Me a Coffee link is on our website at howtopodcast.ca. And you can support the show that way. It would mean a lot to have you on our team supporting what we do here. If you find value in the show, then that's great. Share the show. Tell somebody about it. And when somebody says, Dave, I want to start a podcast, who should I check out? Oh, you should go check out the How to Podcast series. because of all the great co-hosts and all the things that happen here, the meetups, everything. And I would appreciate that. And then fill our cup once in a while if you can. But again, thank you so much for being here and supporting the How to Podcast series. Take care. Talk soon. Okay, so you're still here. Great. So I want to help you something. This is what I'm noticing in Facebook groups. People are jumping on and complaining about their hosting site. They're like, something's broken and I can't fix it. And who here can help me? And my general response is, have you emailed the support for the platform that you're complaining about in this moment? Because complaining to a bunch of people on Facebook is not going to help you get an answer. They have a support team. That's why they're there. That's why you're paying for this hosting site. So email them first before you jump on Facebook and complain about all these problems you're having with your show. It might not be the hosting site. It might be you. So before you get on and show people how uninformed you are, I was going to say this in a different context, but I didn't want to be mean, how uninformed you are about what's happening in podcasting, before you get out there and demonstrate that your uninformed status. Is that a nice way to say that? Yeah. Before you demonstrate your uninformed status, I like that, reach out to support first. They're the people who have the answers. They're the people who can see under the hood. They can help you before any random person on Facebook who gives you terrible advice on Facebook, because that's what Facebook is known for. Don't ask Facebook and don't ask Facebook communities and don't post on social media your disdain for your hosting site when you haven't even talked to them. They're there for a reason. Reach out to them. Share your question. Be succinct. Have your information. Have your login information. Have your RSS feed. Have information that ties you to your show. Make it easy. And explain what's wrong in easy to understand terminology. The people are there to help you. So stop posting on Facebook. Ugh. Reach out to your support team first. And then get on Facebook and boast about how great they treated you. That's what you should be doing. So please stop doing that. Reach out to your hosting site first. Okay? Thanks. Talk soon. Bye.